Hazrat Shah Jalal Rahmatullah, a major Sufi saint of Bengal. His full name is Sheikh Jalaluddin. Hazrat Shah Jalal, R, commands great respect of Muslims of the subcontinent. He lies buried at Sylhet. Shah Jalal's name is associated with the Muslim conquest of Sylhet, Bangladesh. Tradition goes that a Hindu king named Gaur Govinda ruled the Sylhet area. Burhanuddin, a Muslim who lived in the territory under his control, once sacrificed a cow to celebrate the birth of his son. But a kite snatched a piece of flesh of the slaughtered cow and it fell from its beak on the house of a Brahmin. According to another tradition, the piece of flesh fell on the temple of the king himself, which he took as a great offense. At the order of the king, Burhanuddin's hands were said to have been cut off and his son killed. Burhanuddin went to Gaur and submitted a prayer to Sultan Shamsuddin Firoz Shah for justice from him. The Sultan accordingly sent an army under the command of his nephew Sikandar Khan Ghazi, who was however, defeated twice by Gaur Govinda. The Sultan then ordered his Sipaxalar, armed forces chief, Nasiruddin to lead the war. During the same time Hazrat Shah Jalal Rahmatullah with his 360 followers reached Bangladesh and joined the Muslim army in the Sylhet campaign. This time the Muslim army won. Gaur Govinda fled the country and Sylhet came under Muslim rule. Though based on folk tales, historic evidences support the truth of the war event. King Gaur Govinda, Sultan Shamsuddin Firoz Shah, Sikandar Khan Ghazi, Nasiruddin, Hazrat Shah Jalal are all historical persons. There might be some imaginary accounts in illustrating the story, but the main event, the conquest of Sylhet, Bangladesh, is a historical fact. Sultan Shamsuddin Firoz Shah ruled Bengal during the period from 1301 to 1322 AD and expanded the territory under his rule in all directions. Epigraphic and literary sources also attest the fact of the conquest of Sylhet during Shamsuddin Firoz Shah's rule and of the involvement of Hazrat Shah Jalal, R, in the process. Ibn Battuta visited Bangladesh when Sultan Fakhruddin Mubarak Shah was ruling at Sonargaon, 1338 to 1349 AD. He met Hazrat Shah Jalal, R, in the latter's Kanka and stayed 3 days there in 1346 AD. Ibn Battuta, however, wrongly recorded the name of the saint as Sheikh Jalaluddin Tabrizi, R. Scholars have established that Ibn Battuta's Tabrizi is a mistake for Kunyai, the epithet for Hazrat Shah Jalal, R. The earliest and most acceptable source of information about the first Muslim conquest of Sylhet, Bangladesh and the advent of Islam in the area is a Persian inscription of 918 AH/1512 AD issued in the reign of Sultan Alauddin Hussein Shah, 1494 to 1519 AD. According to the inscription, Sylhet, Bangladesh was first conquered by Sikandar Shah Ghazi in 703 AH/1303 AD in the reign of Shamsuddin Firoz Shah. The inscription was dedicated to the sacred memory of Sheikh Jalal Mujarrad ibn Muhammad. Though the inscription was issued after a little more than 200 years of the event, it seems to have the accurate historical dates. An account of the conquest of Sylhet by Shah Jalal, R, and his companions is found in the Gulzar-i-Abrar of Gausi, written in 1613 AD. It is based on the earlier work Shar-i-Nuzhat al-Arwa by Sheikh Ali Shur, a descendant of Sheikh Nurul Huda Abul Karamat, who was a companion of Shah Jalal, R, who took part in the conquest of Sylhet. According to this source, Sheikh Jalaluddin Mujarrad, a Khalifa of Sultan Syed Ahmed Yesvi, was born in Turkestan and had settled in Sylhet. With the permission of the Pir, he came to India with 700 companions to take part in Jihad, holy war. He reached Bengal with 360 of his companions. They fought against Raja Gaur Govinda of Sylhet, who fled, and the country around Sylhet fell into the hands of the victors. Hazrat Shah Jalal, R, divided the conquered lands among his followers, permitted them to get married, but he himself, however, remained a celibate. This source gives the credit for conquering Sylhet, Bangladesh to Hazrat Shah Jalal, R, and his followers, and has no reference to any reigning king or his generals. Nasiruddin Haidar wrote a biography of Hazrat Shah Jalal Rahmatullah in Persian in 1860. The author claims that in writing the book titled Suhail-e Yaman, He used two Persian manuscripts such as Risalat written by Muhyiddin Qasim in 1711 AD and Rosetta Salatin written by an unknown author in 1721 AD. Both the manuscripts were kept preserved in the Dargah of the saint. Hazrat Shah Jalal's father, Muhammad, was a Sufi of Yemen. Hazrat Shah Jalal Rahmatullahi lost his parents in his childhood and was brought up by his maternal uncle Sayyid Ahmad Kabir Shirawardi, a great saint. After completion of formal education, Hazrat Shah Jalal Rahmatullahi received spiritual lessons from his uncle. It is said that Kabir gave him a handful of earth and instructed him to go to India for preaching Islam. Hazrat Shah Jalal Rahmatullahi was told to find the sacred place of India where the earth was of the color and smell similar to the earth given to him and should pass the rest of his life there in prayer and meditation. On his way to India, Hazrat Shah Jalal Rahmatullahi met Shah Nizamuddin Auliya at Delhi, who gave him a pair of pigeons of a special species, which, according to folk belief, is found still today in the Dargah of Hazrat Shah Jalal Rahmatullahi in Sylhet, Bangladesh and some other places of Bengal. So advised, Hazrat Shah Jalal Rahmatullahi moved to Bangladesh. It so happened that during this time, the army of Sultan Shamsuddin Firoz Shah was fighting against King Gaur Govinda of Sylhet, Bangladesh. Hazrat Shah Jalal Rahmatullahi and his followers joined the battle. The biography of Hazrat Shah Jalal Rahmatullahi gives description of how Sylhet was conquered, as well as of some miraculous events that demonstrate the spiritual powers of the saint, which were considered for the victory more important than the prowess of the army. Although Suhail Yaman is a relatively recent book written by using both facts and hearsay, it was for some time looked upon as a standard biography of Hazrat Shah Jalal Rahmatullahi. The book says that the saint came from Yemen, of the Arab Peninsula, but this has been proved wrong. An inscription discovered in Sylhet, Bangladesh in 1873 categorically indicates that Hazrat Shah Jalal Rahmatullahi was a Kuniyai. He came from Konya, a township in Turkey. In the Gulzar-i-Abrar of Gausi he is called Turkestani. There are every reasons to believe that Hazrat Shah Jalal Rahmatullahi came from Turkey and not from Yemen. Another inscription issued in honor of Sheikh Sheikh Makdum Sheikh Jalal Mujarrad bin Muhammad records that Sylhet was first conquered by Sikandar Khan Ghazi in the reign of Sultan Firoz Shah in 703 AH/1303 AD. This is also supported by Gulzar-i-Abrar. In his travel accounts, Ibn Battuta described that Hazrat Shah Jalal Rahmatullahi was a great saint of hoary age and a dervish with exceptional spiritual powers. Ibn Battuta learnt that the saint had met Caliph al-Mustasim Billah at Baghdad, and that he was there at the time of the caliph's assassination. The companions of Hazrat Shah Jalal Rahmatullahi later told Ibn Battuta that the saint died at the age of 150 and that he observed fasting in almost all the days of a year. He also performed namaz throughout the night. He was thin, tall and scantily bearded. Ibn Battuta also described some events that demonstrate the spiritual powers of the saint and noted that he had got the message of his death in the following year at Beijing. Recent studies show that Ibn Battuta visited Bengal in 1345–46 AD, which means, Hazrat Shah Jalal Rahmatullahi died in 1347. Hazrat Shah Jalal Rahmatullahi was a disciple of Sayyid Ahmad Yesvi and belonged to the Naqshbandiya order of the Sufis. His preceptor and fellow friends lived in agony and suspense in the days of turmoil following the Mongol invasion in Turkey. Ibn Battuta's statement that he had met Sheikh Jalaluddin Tabrizi Rahmatullahi has become a subject of controversy. Some modern scholars believe that both the Jalals, Sheikh Jalaluddin Tabrizi and Shah Jalal of Sylhet, are one and the same person, which they were not, according to recent studies. However, both of them were great saints, and had great influence on the people of Bangladesh. They lived and worked at different places and different times. Sheikh Jalaluddin Tabrizi, R., lived in Panjua and Deodala of Malda, West Bengal, but Shah Jalal Rahmatullahi lived in Sylhet, East Bengal, present Bangladesh. Tabrizi's period was at least a century earlier than that of Hazrat Shah Jalal Rahmatullahi of Sylhet, Bangladesh. The former was a contemporary of Sultan Shamsuddin Iltutmish, died 1236 AD, Sheikh Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki of Delhi, died 1235 AD, and Sheikh Bahaduddin Zakaria of Multan, died 1262. According to hagiologists, Jalaluddin Tabrizi, R. died in 1226, or 1244 AD and, even if the later date is considered correct, he died 103 years before the death of Hazrat Shah Jalal Rahmatullahi of Sylhet. The tomb of Hazrat Shah Jalal Rahmatullahi is visited daily by a large number of devotees. His grave is unusually large, which indicates his tall physique as described by Ibn Battuta. Thanks dear audience for watching this video. Please like and subscribe us for more videos.